All right, guys, this is Mark Keene from Keene Engineering. I'm here with Salud, Manuel, my dog Teddy, and a few other friends, Gene. We don't want to talk about this guy. He's too shady. And we're here at Pat. Hey, Salud, just show them how easy it is to move it around. So before we're getting ready to set it up for actual mining, but it literally goes together in a matter of a couple seconds. I got the optional wheel system on here, which is really cool, and it moves really nice. So doesn't it feel better balanced now because we shifted those legs forward?
Yeah.
Can you feel the difference? And you can see so he just puts the legs in upside down, and you can position the wheels however you want to. So let's pull the wheels off. We don't need it here. So go ahead and pull them off, Salud. Watch how fast this goes. That's just too easy, guys. By the way, we went ahead and weighed this whole machine. It was roughly 55 pounds. And it literally sets up in a matter of a couple minutes, which I really love. All right. Hey, so pull off the front hopper. I attached it, but show them how easy it pulls off. He just got two quick pin locks. Of course, when everything new doesn't go in, things are always along the tight side. So he's got to push the little pin button in there, and that comes off. Isn't that is so easy? Okay, go to reattach it. That's okay. Probably goes together a little faster than it does come apart. All right, guys, that's awesome. All right, so you get 50 pounds. It's 55 pounds, Patrick. 55 pounds. I'll tell you what's nice is I'm going to go ahead and adjust it. It's a really fast adjustment to kind of level things up. You got 4 independent legs that are adjustable, both folding and they articulate different positions, and they also go up and down. It's a little bit too easy to set up.
But you know what?
Move it out.
What we did is we just
it's just like that. It's 200 years old. It's held what I do.
Okay, this is just a little bit of a close-up view that we're going to power it first with our water motor system. We basically inject, like 20, 30 pounds pressure into that water motor. The water goes in the top and it comes out the bottom. It spins an impeller, and then it goes through like a 20-to-1 gearbox, and then probably with the drum and everything, probably about another 2-to-1. So we got probably close to about 40-to-1 gear reduction. So we got quite a bit of torque. So that just gives you a little bit better view. You can almost see the impeller inside, which I think is kind of cool. We actually use a clear polycarbonate cover on it, just so we can kind of see what's going on. But man, this thing is fast, easy, clean, and it comes apart in a matter of a couple of seconds. All right. Okay, so I've already primed the pump. I'm just going to blow a little clean water because I don't want to. I'm going to blow just some clean water through the pump in case there's any sediment. Teddy, what are you doing? All right, I'm going to try to blow some clean water through the pump in case there's any sediment stuck in my foot valve before I hook the pressure hose up to the filter. Because with the water motor system, you don't want to pump a bunch of sand. We have to run everything through a filter, otherwise we'll wear out the impeller on the water motor. So that's why I'm going to blow some clean water. You see, these guys are paying attention if they get wet. Okay, you ready, Pat? Okay, put the gasket, look it up. Hi, this is Mark Keene and my brother Pat Keene.
Hi.
We're here showing one of our latest new product. It's the new KT10 Trommel. Now, this trommel is available in 2 versions. Which one do you like better, Teddy? You've got it with the a 12-volt complete drive system, 12-volt pumps, 12-volt motor, and you also have a water drive motor, which I'll let my brother explain in just a minute. But the whole concept behind a trommel is that the material is fed into a hopper, the material travels through this revolving drum, and the revolving drum has a couple spray bars going down the center that blast and liberate the sand and the gravel and washes all the debris down into the belly pan of the unit and washes it through the sluice. We'll demonstrate all this in a minute, okay? But some of the really cool things that I like, that I'll let my brother explain, is we've developed this water motor drive, which is amazing. So you can go ahead and...
Okay, well, how it works is we have a water source over here. For right now, we're using a small little gasoline motor, 2.5 horsepower. It pumps a high pressure water, which goes into a water motor, which is like a little tiny water wheel that's encased inside of a little plastic housing. And on the back side of the water motor, there's a gear drive that actually has the drive system, which drives and revolves the drum. What's interesting is the discharge from it goes through the spray bars and supplies the water for the whole machine. So in this setup, we're not using any 12 volt, even though there's a 12 volt system, that it works perfect.
Yeah, see, a really good point I don't want you to miss is the cool thing about the single motor and pump package is we could literally take this machine, set it several hundred feet away from the river's edge or up on a hillside with the right pumping system. You don't need to take any batteries, nothing. Just that one water hose will drive the whole machine.
And you could use this as a complete recirculation system as well.
Yeah. The only thing on a recirculation system with the water motor, though, you got to be careful because you don't want to pump too much sand through it. So in a recirculation system, a guy asked me this question the other day. That's the reason I'm jumping in.
That's why you have a filter.
That's why you have to filter going into the water motor.
Exactly. But what's interesting about it is having it made out of plastic instead of aluminum. It makes it for something that will never wear out. The plastic parts will last for a long time. It's a cross-linked polypropylene. And it's like the same thing your gas tank is made out of. But this stuff is super lightweight and it's made to last for years and years of use.
By the way, the machine only weighs about 55 pounds. And by utilizing some of the plastic components, we're able to incorporate a really cool design. I mean, if I had to fabricate this out of steel or aluminum or anything else, it would cost a bloody fortune and weigh a ton. But because we've taken all our money up front, we are invested in some really high-end molding processes, we'll be able to keep hopefully the cost under control. But it's just, the design is just, amazing.
And we've made a lot of different prototypes of this machine to try to make it as simple and streamlined and as lightweight as possible. You see how the frame is made, all the brackets. You can tell that it's been really well thought out, very well engineered. But hey, this is what it takes to make a product like this that's going to work well for all different applications.
Yeah.
And another thing about a trommel is, one of the key things about a trommel is when you're dealing with the clay type material, having the ability to have the spray bars break up and emulsify the material and help separate it out. That's why something like this is better than a high banker with the grizzly setup, because it has more of a chance to break up the clay. And you can also change the angle of the trommel, which will change the speed and the flow going through it, so it can take more time. And with these little tiller bars that keep on rolling the material to break up the material, as well as wash it and break it down so it goes into the sluice box.
Yeah. Speaking of the lift bars or breaker bars, we've done some really unique things internally. You can take them on and off, remove them. You can relocate them whenever you want, but it's a very versatile package. But the flipper bars, basically we have a flipper bar here, we have like a 4-inch gap here, we have a flipper bar here, we have a 4-inch gap, and if you rotate it 45 degrees, you're going to have, we do exactly the opposite. So it'll lift just a small amount of material, then lift material here, then lift material here. So you get a really good washing. So if you have, like what Pat was saying, you have a lot of heavy clays, real sticky material. If you have like a conglomerate type rock with weeds and stuff, nothing will outperform a trommel in the world.
And we can also change the classifications in the barrel. We can go to a smaller diameter screen, like if we're processing lots of black sands, or using it more of a concentrator for a larger operation as well.
And I think we're gonna offer probably 3 different screens. This is a 3/8. We might offer a 1/2 inch and maybe a 1/4 inch screen. And
maybe even an 1/8.
Maybe an 1/8. I don't know. We'll have to see what people want.
Exactly.
We just don't know. Look, this is our I think you said our 6th time out.
6th time.
So, and we might even go again after this, but we feel pretty good because we've got all our tooling nailed down, and we've done a lot of testing in the field and a lot of testing at our shop too. We have a nice little setup for testing. So I think we're ready to fire it up and show these guys how it works.
I think so.
All right, so we're still making a few more adjustments on here. I think we need to get our belt tensioning system a little more refined, but we're getting there. But overall, everything's working really good. I love the way the sluice is working. See, the belly pan, which is this piece right here, dumps everything right into the sluice, and then it falls onto a classifier screen. And underneath that classifier screen, there's some Miracle Mat expanded metal, and we've got a couple different ripple systems in here. Okay, I've got green carpet, expanded metal, Miracle Mat in the middle of it here, and I got a more conventional, like an A52 type ripple. But you can see what a nice difference that rubber flap, it just smooths out and quiets up, and it smooths down the water. And you can see the ripples are working pretty good here too. So everything's doing what it's supposed to do. You guys want to feed a little more material? So dump it in at a smooth pace. Now you'll notice that our spray bar is mounted inside the drum. The big advantage the spray bar and the drum provides is it allows for the material to get directly sprayed with a spray bar. Some of these other small toy trommels I see on the market, they put water pressure from the outside of the drum spraying in. But having that water pressure come in direct contact really does make quite a difference. And also you'll notice that we're running 2 separate spray bars. One comes from the back side of the motor drive, and the other one just comes off the white spray. So I can adjust those pressures, but man, look at it working that material. It's really coming out strong. Except we got to work on that belt tension system. It's coming really nice and look how clean that dirt is. There's no sand. It's all just clean gravel being washed over and over again. And that's the main gig with a trommel. You want the material to come out clean. But again, you can see it, the material is dropping onto the classifier screen and then through the sluice box. And this is basically an A52 with just a little short hopper in here. That's something new we tried out for the first time. We didn't have that on the last mill. Because I'm trying to get this whole machine mounted as low as possible. The lower you get it, that means the less higher you have to lift it. And as I get a little older, I'm looking to make things more convenient, I've noticed. So look at that thing work, man. It's just working like a champ. So go ahead and throw some more material through it. Here, once you record it, I'll feed it. Okay, so we're doing a little switch over. Now we're taking off the water drive motor. I'll give you a little better shot of how that thing works once it gets it all off. But so I suspect these take us about probably 15 minutes to do the conversion. But everything's working good. I got a little belt tension issue. I have that little rear lip issue I got to work on, and that's why we'll be out again. So it seems to be handling. The sluice is working. Now you do have to feed a little slower with the battery powered system, but one really cool thing, it's quiet. very quiet. You can maintain a low profile. No one's going to see or hear you. He's running some big rocks through it. Seems to tolerate it pretty good. We're having a good washing action down here. Let's take a look. Again, I'm thinking about changing that rear lip because it's holding up too much material in the drum, but that's why we come out and test. So we'll be out again at least one more time. But overall, I mean, this thing is kind of kicking ass. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we really beefed up the lake system on this thing. We came up with a steel bracket that supports our Mini-Max lake type system, and we have it all dusted it. And those things are just rock solid. I love it. But I think that lift's going to have to go, or maybe a smaller lift, one of the two. So this is doing what it's supposed to. Working good, huh? I like that. As you can see here, we're just running our 2 pumps out into the river. And we're running off a small little Group 24 deep cycle battery. Okay, so we've done all our testing. Everything worked real well. We have a couple things we got to work on.
And they're just little tiny things, but you know, when you take it out in the field, you really want to have everything fault free. You want to try to address all the different little issues and problems, so when people are using it out in the field, everything's smooth.
Yeah, so I mean, we're shooting for perfection here. We had a little belt slippage issue. The motor never stalled, either the DC or the water-powered motor, but we did have some belt slippage. So I think Pat and I were talking about using some kind of a
we were thinking about a belt tensioner, but you know, we want to try to keep everything as simple as possible. So we're going to try something like a serrated belt, or the inside of the belt is kind of like a cog.
Has little teeth in it.
Yep.
We even talked about maybe adding some kind of texture to the bottom of the belt so we get a better grip.
Yeah.
And the only time it did slip is when we had it overloaded with a lot of material. But that's going to happen.
But a lot of that is because you're putting boulders in there.
Patrick, people are going to do things.
You're right.
We got to make it idiot-proof.
Make
people
it
are going to do stupid things. So we can get it to do everything.
And another thing we'd like to do is we'd like to make maybe like an adjustable lip on the back of it, because sometimes it will hold too much material back and won't work off of its end when we're running through the real sharp rock. It kind of stays in there. But we're thinking about maybe even having a ring in here, or adding something to here, maybe a round edge on here, or even maybe a metal plate with 4 little screws in there.
Or you know what, Pat? We could just eliminate the damn thing, solve all their problems, and just tell our customers if they are nuggets, just check your tailing piles with a metal detector.
Well, that's what I know.
I mean, you know, that's a pretty good sized nugget.
But not everyone has a metal detector with them.
I know. But most prospectors who can invest in a machine like this are pretty well decked out. This isn't for the beginner.
You know, today we pretty much just wanted to see how it was going to work with running a lot of material through the barrel, because people are going to try to hog the machine. They want as much capacity as possible.
And the only problem we had there was a little belt slippage, but
that's
an easy fix, though.
Overall, I think we're just about there.
Yeah, and that lip I didn't like. So
yeah,
we're gonna have to come out another time again, but that's okay. This is.
I think the back legs need to be about 4 inches taller. The leg on the the single leg on the back of the hopper needs to be about 4 inches longer.
I don't know if we want to go longer, because
just to be able to get a little bit tilt, because in some areas with certain types of rock, so it doesn't stay in the barrel, to get a little bit more tilt on it. That's how the big boys adjust them.
Yeah, but I don't want to put a real long legs. I don't want to have this. I don't want people to jack it up too high. I want to keep it down low, so we have a lower center of gravity. I mean, it's really
I
steady
know,
right
but
now.
you know what? People are, no matter what, people are going to try it every which
Yeah,
way.
but if you limit it to the height of the legs, they're not going to overdo it. 'Cause
I say give
I know
the
it can handle all
adjustment.
this. I'm feeling all my weight on it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're going
I
to have to
think
come out
we're
again,
Yeah, we're on our way.
but we're 99, 98% close. I thought we were closer before, but that's why you bring it out to the field and you learn from your mistakes.
Yep. And we need someone to sit here and brush it to make sure they get all the moss off of it too.
Yeah, but I can't wait to take this thing to clay. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, in heavy moss, I think you definitely need a rough bristle brush
Yeah.
to clean all the stuff off.
So I guess let's we'll
Make a
clean
couple
up.
of changes and do it again.
Yeah, so I'm going to tear this apart, show how easy it comes apart.
Do it. I'll stand back and laugh.
Who's the expert? He tore it apart.
What's up?
No, keep recording. Yeah, we're going to tear it. Come help me tear it apart, Salud.
This will actually just help. Okay, you got a little too much salt.
I just want to show them what it looks like inside a little bit. Okay, this is something I really like. To take this system apart, you just have 2 pins that pop out. You got that one, Sid? Okay. Wiggle it. I mean, how cool is that? That is so nice to be able to tear that apart.
Yes.
In order to remove our spray bar system, in fact, let's just disconnect these next down here. This man, well tightened, got the iron grip. Okay, and to tear this off, we just loosen this up and this kind of wiggles out. I mean, how simple is this thing to tear down? Now if I want to pull my drum out, all I would have to do basically is to tip it up. And that's a good way to clean
I'll
it
carry
out.
this back up the canyon.
Okay, that sounds typical. Just kidding. All right, so I think that kind of gives you an idea. This paint doesn't weigh anything. And if you want, you can even roll this on its side here.
Yeah.
And roll these out of position. And just get these, tuck everything inside. So it just makes it easier to transport.
But also the whole motor assembly, you can also take that off too.
Yep. But look how compact that thing is. That is so nice.
And they will have two pins too for the motor.
We'll have 2 pins for here.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean for the motor? Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. So nice. Okay, I think that kind of buttons it up. So we're gonna pack up, go home, make some more changes, and we'll see you probably next weekend.